Okay, at least I did walk in and effectively just kill everything, no problem. Or like, not kill everything, but waltz in and grab the rune with very little killing in the bolt involved. Everything that I had to fight in there was instead, for some reason, out of there. Whatever. We have one rune now, which means that I can go to bolts. Should I go to bolts? I should go buy that scroll of fear. Maybe that helmet of intelligence as well. It sucks that you can use butterflies if you sack friends. It should give you the push effect, because the push effect really is the important part of Scrolls of Butterflies. Um, it is the good part, the impactful part. We're at 1900 gold. We are 450 away from the +8 Ring of Slaying, which is a little bit exciting. A gate to Salt. Should I do Salt is the question. And the answer to that question is probably yes. I think it should be okay. Careful with these trolls because they're mighty. Okay. I'll epoch that. I think I should do Salt to try to fix this character. I mean, I don't think it really is that bad, but it could be a lot better if I had one or two power items. Which, I mean, I have the Dire Flail. The Dire Flail is not a bad item, but I think that's just the most remarkable thing that I have. Like, I'm okay with anything that is not a weapon, pretty much anything. Hello, Spindart. Thank you for stopping by. Good to see you around. So many Convokers. I'm so glad that I had Apoc to prevent them from wrecking me. Okay, there it is, the Great Maze that I wanted earlier. If we're gonna be enchanting a weapon, it's gonna be that one. We could make it a +7 Great Maze already. This is kind of giving me feels that I should use a Potion of Might. If I drop below 100, I feel like haste might also be necessary, because we are fighting a lot of stuff. But no, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. I did end up dropping a little bit below 100, but not really. It was not in a position where I was worried that I was going to need to buff to not die. You just go. You should just go for salt. Oh, that is not salt. I really thought that was it. Okay. It's not very far. It's deep water. Okay, but there is one tile that is not deep water. We can buy this scroll of fear. Well worth it. Um, Cenotaph. With an Executioner Sax of Venom and a Ringmail of Poison Resistance. We happen to have some throwing nets, which should work okay here. Please? What do you mean? Was it 78? But I have training in throwing. No, 76. Okay, thank you. Goodbye, Senata. We lose one net, it's fine. Because Senata is a really nasty monster. Really nasty thing to fight against. Alright, salt. Quite the flashbang in tiles. And now we carefully walk towards the edge. That's how you do this. Carefully walk towards the edge. If we get into a nasty fight, we at least have Apok. So we can Apok and try to finish it off or just teleport away. Okay. So far, so good. We made it safely to the edge. Yes, I also tend to die on the salt level. I get surrounded so quickly. It is bad. It is not a desirable thing to do. But I figured that this was one of the few opportunities that I have to get crazy good loot on my character, which I kind of need. Okay, definitely not a good indicator when even the normal monsters are giving me this much trouble in a non-open area, which is wild. But yeah, step one, take take steps towards trying to not be surrounded. Skin of Sore, glowing plate. That could be good. Oh, that is good. Yeah, that's a really good item. I'm very happy to have received that amulet. Plate of fire resistance. Jeez, okay, yeah, give me that. 35 armor class. Big buff. I had 22 or so before that. Big buff. Huge. And now I have good resistances and good armor class. I think that like it's so funny because of all the items that I found, like Skin of Sore and this longbow and the amulet that I picked up, I think the most impactful item is the plate that I just picked up. It really is that good. I could also use fire scales, really, because fire scales give a little bit less armor class than the plate, but they give me more fire resistance. And yeah, we don't really have any problems with the weakness to cold. Interesting. Also, there's more fire skills other than the one that I'm carrying. I have a treasure trove that wants me to give it +6 fire skills, so I could give it, or I could just enchant it and use it. And we already have the resistance to electricity problem fixed thanks to the amulet that I just picked up. Yeah, it would be nice if I could at some point unwield this Dark Flail that I have. I sacked cold and fire resistance for Rue, but I did get the Apok on 3 sacrifices combo, which was pretty nice. Okay, clouds are kind of messing me up. Not really what I want to see. Imperial Myrmidon is even less what I want to see. Can you see invisible? It doesn't seem to be the case. All right. Manual of Mazes. That's really good because I have 14 and I need 20 for min delay on the Darflail. Double sword. Yeah, maybe for a different character would have been cool, but not for this one. It's a lot of stuff. And yep, I was just waiting to get surrounded to press the APOC button. Fortunately, I went Rue. Like, I think that doing this with Rue is a lot more reasonable than doing it without Rue. Um, Rue is not really a god that I like that much, but it is a god that you can definitely appreciate for how simple the gameplay is and how powerful and simple it is. It's pretty much the successor of Trog if you think about it. Of Trog and Okawaru, both of which have gotten substantially nerfed in recent versions, in one way or another. All right. Okay, pretty good. Lame. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. That's even more stuff. Sack of spiders. We cannot make use of that. Nice. Ring of protection. Better than my current ring of protection, so we can definitely just toss that away. Replace it for the new and better one with a little bit of extra dexterity. All right. Now, do we toss the guardian spirit away to equip um the resistance to electricity, fire resistance? Yeah, yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Great stuff. Great stuff. What do you mean I cannot auto travel out of here? I can. Look at me do it. Before I leave, it's worth it to double check that I'm not leaving behind anything that I could desire. And it happens to be the case that I'm not. Hello, Cayman. Crawl doesn't suck. Crawl sucks. It's just pain. Yeah, I think that I have exhausted all my crawl juice or all my roguelike juice in general. I think that I have played all the roguelikes that I need to play in my life probably. Um, the other day or the last couple of days, I have been playing Metroidvanias, and I've been enjoying Metroidvanias a lot. In fact, off stream, I'm playing Nine Souls, and the gameplay of that game is pretty good. There's some unfair stuff that I'm not fond of, but the core mechanics are good, and that's super nice. I just wish the mechanics were in a different game, pretty much. Another Scarf of Resistance. Unfortunately, we cannot wear more than one. If I could wear 6 Scarves of Resistance, I would love it. Poltergeist moment. Well, actually, not 6, more like 2 or 3 Scarves of Resistance. I wonder if someone developed Poltergeist after hearing someone else say, if I could wear multiples of this item, I would do it. What is that? It's encased on rock. I cannot access it because I cannot evoke magical items. Okay. Going into that place was huge because it gave me the plate of fire resistance, and I needed that plate of fire resistance pretty good. We also have 6 scrolls of enchant weapon. You should just pull the trigger on them. Um, there we go, +9. Great mace. And now I think we get 16 throwing, and then we get 20 maces, maybe even 21. Poltergeist is just Shadow Octopus that can finally wear many scarves on each tentacle. Yep. What is that? Darts of Disjunction. Should probably pick them up. Yeah, and I feel like I'm not killing things fast enough, and it is starting to become a bit of a problem. Draw out power for the heal. Big heals. Throw some jabs. Okay. Regretting using draw out power instead of waiting for Apoc. Okay. I have immense cold resistance, so that shouldn't be a problem. I have resistance to electricity, so that too shouldn't be a problem. I can also use draw out power again. Did I use draw out power and get confused the next turn? Oh yeah, talking about that, that is this character's greatest weakness. It doesn't have willpower. Yep, that's all the willpower that I have. I do have plenty of potions of will, so perhaps it would be a good idea to use one now. Armataur has 3 willpower to level up, so I need 2 sources to not get completely hosed. And as you can see, I have 0 sources, so I'm going to get completely hosed. I could drink a potion of willpower, and I don't think it would do a lot. Okay, now with 1 potion of willpower, yeah, so still 50% and 23 for the mass confusion. Super not worth it. Because I don't feel like it's doing anything. I should probably restyle. Maybe it's too late for that. Yep. All right. I had 10 potions of heal wounds before I went into Snake. Now I have 0. Oh wait, they know where I am because of the mark. Are you serious? That is insane. Yeah. All right. I get the message scroll. I get the message. Can a streamer land on a safe spot after reading teleport? Is that possible? Iron Bound Beastmaster. Oh, they hit pretty hard. Throw bolas. Wrapping around even the largest of foes and binding them in place. Pretty cool. At least I don't have weakness to electricity. Could be a lot worse. I'm definitely feeling like I should go do a little bit of swamp so I can recover my HP. Yeah, the difference in damage output is quite tangible. 49 and 39. That is a shame. 5 enchant armor. I'm 1 away from being able to enter the trope. Everybody cross your fingers so I find it soon. After I'm done clearing this level, I'm going to do the rest of Swamp. Maybe I can find what I want there. How does my character sheet look when I am not wielding the Darflail? It's fine. It's passable. I'm almost certain I'm going to regret using my scrolls of enchant armor in the enchant armor. Well, in the far scales, it's gonna be terrible. Do you have any favorite combos recently in Crawl? I haven't played Crawl since the last version, pretty much. My favorite combo is playing a different game. Oh, I have no poison resistance. That's certainly going to be a bit of a problem. I used to have it. Now I don't have it. I don't want to go back to my skill mail of poison resistance. I really don't. I like having 35 armor class. Yeah, I bet it would be substantially more painful for me to fight that Thorn Hunter if I had the poison resistance than if I had, what I have right now. Baisu Shen. She does not have poison resistance on the first phase, so one should spam Curare on the first phase, right? She doesn't have it, right? No, she has it. Okay, for some reason. Um, or maybe she doesn't have it on the second phase because Storm Dragons don't have the resistance. Oh, well, it should be fine. No, you still have it. Hmm. I feel like you shouldn't have it because you're supposed to be a Storm Dragon. All right, 16 throwing. Time for more maces. Okay, and Baisushen didn't drop scales. I don't know if that is much of a problem, really. I don't know if I would want to use them anyway. I probably wouldn't want to use them because I don't need resistance to electricity. I don't care about Roxanne because I don't need statue form. But I can use it. Yeah, even if I got statue form, I cannot even train the skill because Ru. How many things did I sacrifice? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things? Really? That's crazy because it took me 3 sacrifices to get to 5 pips of piety, and then it took me another 3 sacrifices to get from 5 to 6. The 3 sacrifices that I took to get from 5 to 6 were irrelevant, but the ones that I took before were quite impactful. I sacrificed my ability to use evocations, I sacrificed fire and cold resistance, and I sacrificed stealth was the third one? Or was it no shapeshifting? I don't remember. We can go back to the beginning to see. Okay, evocables and weakness to Fire and Cold resistance is the first two that I sacrificed, and the third one is no stealth. Okay. Luis. I'm about to get banished, am I not? Beautiful. Robo binds. But we cannot make use of it. We very much cannot make use of it. Nicola with a cloak of poison resistance. That actually is quite useful. I feel like I could use one of those right now. Get over here, so I can get that cloak from you. Good stuff. Now my chances of dying here are almost zero. I won't be using this for the rest of the game. Really, I'll only use it for swamp and for sot. For the rest of the game, the Scarf of Resistance is almost certainly better. Yeah, now I don't have to worry about these pesky poison clouds. Oh, and you can tell they would have been a problem if I had not gotten that from Nicola. Emo, hit these things. We get some explosions. Uh-huh. And then we do it again. Ah, this Shambling Mangrove is actually not emote, it's just a Shambling Mangrove. Donald. Yep, Donald ends up not being that much of a problem. Pretty nice. That's rune number 2. 2 out of 3 at least. Certainly, I'm not going for more. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm not dead. Ah, that's so magical. You love to see it. I love not being dead. Well, I forgot Fenstrider witches are a thing that easily kills you if you don't have the resistance. Okay. Teleported next to an Hydra. Fortunately, at this point, an Hydra is not really that dangerous. Unfortunately, I had 37 armor class. Without 37 armor class, I think the Fenstrider witch would have killed me. Going back to 35. And we can go to bolts once again. Got marked. I guess that's fine. I'm gonna let things group up here, and then I'm gonna go for a huge epoch. Come on, give me some more. Okay. What was that? Iron-bound mechanist. I have no idea what that was. Yeah, sure. You can do that all you want. I am almost immune to it. All right. So for once, the mark trap was something that worked in my favor instead of against me. Nice. Yep, I insist. One of my greatest weaknesses with this character is lack of um, the lack of willpower. Lack of willpower is killing me. We have gotten to the part of the game where that is really a serious problem. It is compensated by the fact that I have a ton of potions of willpower, so at least if I get one source, I should be set for the rest of the game. I can just use a willpower potion whenever the need arises. The thing is, am I ever going to find a good source of willpower? Um, Once again, the answer is probably no. I have not even found a ring of willpower. Man, this game sucks. It really is how it is. Um, I used to say it kind of as a joke. Now I truly, profoundly mean it. This game sucks because there's no way to play around that, right? Like if you're fighting something that has a hex roll, you either use consumables, and if the thing is common enough, you're gonna die. Talking about things that are not common that will kill me without willpower. I have one tele. This is insane. Okay, there's more that I can buy. I'm reading tele and I'm getting out of here. I'm not fighting Jody with one people willpower because Jody has paralysis. So I know if I fight Jody, I'm gonna die. Talking about fighting Jody, well, now you get to fight Jody and other things as well. Jody is mostly unfazed by the epoch. That's rough. Got a pretty good blink. But yeah, I wish I had more tele. I landed in a really bad spot. I get paralyzed by Jody, or no, not paralyzed. I'm gonna get mesmerized by Jody, which is pretty bad as well. Jody has how much of a chance to hit me with Crystal Spear? Actually, the game will never tell you that. Yeah, you will not know about, but yeah, 7 evasion. So it's pretty much guaranteed to happen. I have Fogu. Where's the exit? I'm nowhere close to the exits. Maybe it's time to drink a potion of running, one of my 2 potions of haste. Miraculously, I didn't get mesmerized by Jody. Jody didn't attempt to do it in all of the turns that Jody had the opportunity to do so, is what I'm trying to say, because if Jody had tried it even once, I was guaranteed pretty much to be affected by it. So the game very clearly does not want me to do that. Very clearly doesn't want me to do vaults. Um, some is pleased. Now he will throw me into chaos. Not if I close the game. Like really some. You know how this is. You know how this is. Um, and it may not be turned on for another half a year. So some is playing with fire. um, I don't really feel like I have much else to do. I feel like I'm just host because I didn't find enough willpower. But that's how it is. That is how this game is. Period. Wislav. I wonder what we are going to be getting in these Wislavs. Um, I almost have enough for the ring of slaying. Which yeah, the slot that is currently occupied by my current ring of slaying is definitely a slot that should be occupied by a ring of willpower if I had one. Um, what is that? It's the entrance to Pan. Okay. Magic mapping. Oh, I'm right there. Oh, Yeah, in console the crystal is not purple. In tiles it is, and if you see purple crystal, it's like obvious, right? But in console it's not so obvious. Or maybe I'm just rusty. That could also be the case. You are willing to banish me. Tiles wins again? No, never. Never. Tiles are so confusing when it comes to the monsters. Um, Minor bolt specific upsides do not upset the every fight upside that is playing in console. Besides, the water looks so much cooler in console because the water is purple. In tiles, the wall is purple, but in console, the water is purple. I would rather have purple water than purple walls. Um, Mouse input. What? That is insane. No, 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 that is crazy. I would never ever play this with mouse. For Rift Wizard, it works because of the crazy amount of targeting. The crazy amount of targeting in Rift Wizard, it helps to play with mouse. Like Rift Wizard is probably the only roguelike that is playable with mouse and actually faster and more comfortable. Other than that, like I just play with keyboard. I don't even use the it's crazy. Apparently that's a common thing, said no one uses mouse for Explore. That's wild. No, I cannot believe it. I'm just showing how long I've been playing this for. But I like when I started playing, there was no web tiles and there was no mouse by extension, so I just grew accustomed to the controller, or like not to the controller, to the keyboard. You use it for menuing. Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's like you guys are almost playing a different game. Oh, I'm not doing that. Yeah, that one is probably the hardest one. The the headmaster is insane. It's just straight up not worth doing. Well, we have to keep an eye open for any monster that has any sort of hex because I'm 100% guaranteed to get hit by it, pretty much. Mm, yeah, I found plenty of broad axes, but mm, no, it's wild that you guys play with mouse. I cannot believe that. Is this that bolt that is super hard but has artifacts? I think it is. Okay. Glass Eye. How is this thing so tanky? 49. Also, Josefina is pummeling me with Serac Fall. But fortunately, I have 3 pips of cold resistance, so it's not that much of a problem. How did you get next to me so fast, Mr. Spriggan Mage? Okay, finally, Josefina gets a good roll of the Serac Fall. But you're out of support now, and so I can just hit you. And Josefina still continues with the streak of not being able to produce a good item, a good Randard ring. The fact that she always has a ring of cold artifact just like limits it so thoroughly. Okay. You are the one that banishes, right? Yeah. Okay, so I think the first thing we do is this, so I don't get banished. How exactly is this destroying me? I do not understand, but it is. It is destroying me more than Josefina. Oh, that is a Lich right there. Didn't I have a source of See Invisible? I think I had it in. Ah, yes, I had it in the rings that I never bought, and in the morning star that I dropped. Okay, could certainly be useful right now. I really wish there was a potion of See Invisible. It's such a rare property to truly need, but when you don't have it, you feel that you do not have it. Draw out power. Okay, a little bit of a heal. And then we just bop the leech until it dies. Okay, please let one of these crazy rings be a willpower ring. It's a really good ring. Oh boy, it's good. It is certainly good. Unequivocally good. It's perhaps even crazy. Um, it depends on whether or not I get a good amulet to replace my current amulet with. If I get a good amulet, I can throw the amulet away and maybe replace the slaying for the ring that I just got. But I really want to wear that 8 slaying. We're so close to it. I've had it dangling in front of me since D11. I want to make use of it. All right. It's a little bit sketchy. And there we go. Finally, I have access to the +8 Ring of Slaying. I'm definitely not doing Elf with no willpower because I know it's not gonna happen. Would you swap to a Demon Whip or something at this point? Yes, because I should probably stop training that. I wanted to train it to 21, but I should probably stop at 20. Yes, I would swap to a Demon Whip or something because I have so much slaying, and with 8 slaying, a Demon Whip is a pretty good weapon. It's a straight up a pretty good weapon. No brand weapons here, of course not. No Demon Whips have generated in the game. What is this? Huh. But I sacrificed Necromancy. Alright, that sounds cool. I picked up these swamp scales thinking that maybe I was gonna use them for the resistance, and then Nicola appeared and gave me a cloak of poison resistance, which was very much immediately useful. Um, Come on, surely one of these rings is gonna have poison resistance. Also, Mara, seriously? You know I'm not fighting Mara with fragile. Yeah, I should not have that much of a problem with Mara. Oh, look at that. Oh, Demon Blade. I thought it was Demon Whip. Yeah, we have 3 pips of fire resistance and 35 armor class. We should be okay. Oh, 9 Settler Solution hits for 40 plus 20 flame. Big armor class. Mara is the one that copies you. Yes. Um, Crawl is a very rich game in terms of cultural references to everything, pretty much. If you see something in Crawl and you Google it, there's like a 60 to 40 possibility, 60% that it's something that already exists in real life and it's taken from some real world mythology or it's like a reference to another game or something along those lines, and 40% that it is like a Crawl original thing like the Pan Lords or Nekosex or something like that, right? But for example, Sitsi Mime are real. Well, they're real in the sense that they are like a demon from Aztec mythology. Mara is a demon from Hinduism, I think. It's like let's look it up. Let's look it up. Because I remember what Mara is, but I don't want to get anything wrong, so we can look it up. Um, and I know this because I looked it up the first time that I encountered the concept of Mara. It's gonna be a lot easier if I specify Mara Wikipedia, because if you just search Mara, you're gonna get Mara name, but no, it's Mara demon. Mara in Buddhism. It's in Buddhism. It's a malignant celestial Asura king who tried to stop Prince Siddhartha from awakening by trying to seduce him with his celestial army, and a vision of beautiful women who, in various legends, are often said to be Mara's daughters. Yes, the demons of Mara. In Buddhist cosmology, Mara is associated with death, rebirth, and desire. A person whose name I cannot pronounce has described Mara as the personification of the forces antagonistic to enlightenment. It is quite the important demon to Buddhism, I suppose. Ereshkigal is Sumerian. Let's see what Wikipedia has to say about Ereshkigal. Ancient Mesopotamian goddess of death and the underworld. Fits, considering that she is in Tartarus. Anyway, so is Mara. And fortunately for me, Mara didn't copy himself. Ooh, the temptation to press the epoch button. Oh, I'm almost certain that I shouldn't. I'm not going to do it. I tried to hold on as much as I could, but it became evident that I have to press the epoch button. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, no, I should do it. Are you still the same? Yeah, pretty much. The Sphinx is gonna paralyze me and I'm gonna explode. So I'm gonna read a tele. It's a pretty good tele. This level is nasty. Okay, no banishment. I don't need that ring. That is guaranteed to paralyze me. You barely resist, really? What's the chance for it to work? 61, that's crazy. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be, considering that I'm not wearing any willpower gear. Are potions of mutation still in the game? They are. They are. Yep. Ouch. Well, that happened instantly. Oh, does it just like speed up the? I'm almost certain that works as well if you cast your own petrifies. Um, yeah, it just makes it instant. Except that you cannot cast it 3 times in one turn. You feel like Deep Throat Leather Armor should have mana regen instead of HP regen? Could be interesting. Mana regen is an underused property, and it is something that is very desirable to a very large amount of characters. Pretty much every mage could like an extra source of magic regen. But you know what I want? I want a source of willpower. That would be a neat thing to have. The Slick Slippers. But we cannot really make use of them. Also, his work cannot be constricted, engulfed, netted, webbed, or stopped by binding sigils. Yeah, that would have been useful when I was in Snake. Slips away from damaging melee attacks, pulling the attacker onward. Regular trolls are medium armor, deep trolls could be robe equivalent, and iron troll armor could be heavy armor. Okay, but you have to keep in mind that iron trolls appear late enough in the game that you have seen a very large amount of plate at that point. And whatever it is, it needs to be able to compete with plate, with potentially high quality plate. Um, yeah, because it's you have seen so much that it's likely that you have seen some good plate. Talking about that. Okay, I saw +3 plate and the plate that I got from Salt. If I had not gone to Salt, I think I would be dead. No, I don't think I would have gotten this far. It turns out that playing melee speeds this up quite a bit. If I was playing a mage, I would be trying to get my first run at this point. Potion of willpower. Where are my rings? I thought that this place was supposed to have a lot of crazy rings, and I saw like 1 or 2 rings. To be fair, they were pretty decent. I wouldn't say crazy, but they were pretty decent. Marjorie. Hell Knights. That means Demon Whips. None that I can spot. Okay, Demon Whips just continuously elude me. That is a elephant. Where did that come from? Does this band now come with a elephant or something? It would be nice if I could finish off the paralyzed ones, but I don't think I have the ability to do so. And even with 3 pips of the resistance, this is still not particularly easy for me to do this. Also, how did I get slowed? Who even slows here? Do you slow? Why am I slow? The Guardian Sphinx casts a spell, you feel yourself slow down. What is a what is a Guardian Sphinx? Weren't they just called Sphinxes? Are there more Sphinxes now? Oh, now there's a Sphinx Marauder. What is this garbage? A weak, youthful hybrid with a woman's head, a lion's body, and the wings of an eagle. It gleefully wreaks havoc with both the violent turbulence of high winds and the frustration of bewildering magics. Yes, that sounds awful. Oh, it looks like a Shoals monster. Attack pounds 13, bonus opener, damage max 47. Jeez. Confuse and Vex. The Marauders can be scary because they have airstrike melee. Yeah. And I take it that they appear in shoals. This is so much a shoals coded enemy. Um, like everything. There's a new spell, Sphinx Sisters, very good. Let me guess, it replaced Monstrous Menagerie and it just summons 2 Sphinxes now, 1 of each. Because if it does that at level 6, it's a really good spell. Um, yeah, I always thought that summons were underwhelming. Attempts to cloud a target with thoughtless frustration. Just makes the target play crawl, forcing them to play crawl, doing nothing but attacking nearby spaces. That sounds terrible. That sounds really dangerous. Forcing them to spend several turns doing nothing but it's worse than paralysis. That's really bad. That's really, really nasty. Um, I think we are reading a tele. It is always situations like right after using Epoch that I'm like, I'm in danger, and now I would like to use Power Leap. All right, can get in here for almost complete safety. Yep. You just got done with a new Nem's Choice game yourself. Well, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Rune Nem's Choice. Could it be that we finally find a source of willpower? Of course not. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if the item didn't exist anymore. Ring of Willpower. Okay, so it still exists. Sure. Whatever you say, game. What a disappointment. This level vault is sometimes game defining. Sometimes it just grabs your character from the brink of defeat and turns it into a godly entity, but not this time. I would like enchanted fire skills. It would have been wonderful if Marjorie had some enchanted fire skills for me. It didn't happen. And the ones that I'm carrying are unenchanted. Of course, I got them from a dragon. You found like 3 of them in your game, so that's where they all went. Yeah, I mean, maybe at some point I will find willpower or die, whatever happens first. Um, oh, yeah, we're not fighting Jody. I need to skip this level. But despite the fact that I've explored a substantial amount of it, I have yet to find the downstairs. Please. Oh, thank you. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about Jody just completely wrecking me. Jody is a pretty scary thing to fight if you have 8 evasion and no willpower, because you're gonna get mesmerized and then you're gonna get crystal speared. Is that famous crawl YouTuber Dumalakat? Dumalakat? I suppose so. I'm glad that people are like doing the thing that I can no longer do. The community needs it slash deserves it, and I started doing it after what was the guy called? Cannot remember, but there was a guy that posted a lot of crawl on YouTube who disappeared because of real life things, and then in an unrelated note, I started streaming. Um, like I didn't start streaming because I noticed the void in there, and I bet that you too, do Malakath, also had that happen to you. You probably didn't notice that I was not making crawl content anymore, but you just decided to do it. Um, what do you have when it comes to a hex? What do you have when it comes to your hexes? You have nothing, but you have something that I don't know what it is. Okay, so it's just a beam of clouds of it's like a beam of clouds of negative energy, but it also does a 3x3 if it hits you. That's interesting. Yep, precisely that. Um, that's interesting. Pretty spooky thing. Bye bye. So have you been enjoying the tournament? Because I have to say that in terms of enjoyment per game, I have only been enjoying the game. I have only been enjoying the tournament in 1 out of 3 games that I have played. Yes, Ultra Violent 4 and the Mice AU. I was thinking of Ultra Violent. I couldn't remember the name for my life. If someone was threatening me with overwhelming violence, unless I remember the name of the person that I was thinking of, I wouldn't have been able to do it. But yeah, I was thinking about Ultraviolent 4. That is the guy. Um, I do know of the Mice AU. Doesn't the Mice AU still post? Because I think I saw something from the Mice AU the other day. But I may be wrong. Ouch. You're a third generation crawl YouTuber because you watched me a ton when you were still learning. I'm glad that my knowledge helped, you know, replace me because I wanted to be replaced. It's not like a bad thing for me. I am kind of at the point with this game where like it's impossible for me to enjoy it to the point where I enjoyed it where when I started, right? And because I don't enjoy it to that point anymore, I cannot make good content or content that I am satisfied with that I would be okay putting on YouTube. And if I'm not okay putting it on YouTube, then I have nothing to put on YouTube, and by extension, there's no crawl on YouTube, except there is, just not on my channel. Yeah, I'm happy about that. Used to watch Soupy Jubles a decade ago. As for myself, I wanted to start streaming way earlier than I did. When I was learning crawl, I wanted to stream, but it was impossible for me to do it pretty much. I only got a symmetric internet connection. Um, well, when I started streaming, pretty much at the start, I didn't have symmetric internet, but very quickly I switched my internet plan into having symmetric internet. And then I switched it again, and then there was an outage for 3 weeks. Yeah, it was kind of rough. That was a little bit complicated to deal with, especially because I wanted to stream. It was last year. You remember how I was going to do crawl August? But the outage happened in August, so I ended up moving it to September, which was nice because it coincided pretty well with the last tournament. So I ended up playing a decent amount in the last tournament. Um, okay, so we are faced with Jody now. Once again, I think I can probably deal with Jody alone, but Jody plus Shapeshifter, okay. Yeah. Jody plus Glowing Orange Brain was really spooky. Mm, okay, sure would be nice to have a Scroll of Silence. Wait a second, they may not exist in the game anymore. Or they do and I just haven't found any. Scroll of Silence. I don't see it here. Maybe they got removed. I cannot believe it. Why, cruel developers? Why? Oh, that item was so important. I don't want to get crystal speared. It was such a like pretty much a constant. Every time I saw Jody, it was a scroll of silence and then just beat Jody in melee because do not underestimate Jody's melee. Jody's melee is pretty brutal. Also, Jody has pretty good defenses, but dealing with a monster like this in melee is a lot easier when the monster cannot spontaneously take away 100 HP from you. So, yeah. Scroll of Silence in the game? Why exactly? If I have one scroll yet to be identified, it should be here. Huh. Okay. Still in the game. It's just that I don't have it. Um, I sure would like to have one of those. Okay. Yep. Oh, Sanguine Talisman. What is that? The game doesn't tell me what it is because it's completely useless to me. Well, it gives me the description. Turns you into a vampire. Cool stuff. Yeah, if it didn't appear in tiles, it's because of the way that I capture tiles. You know how it is. I play console and I just spectate my own game in a very zoomed in window in tiles, and that's why the tiles window is so large compared to a normal person's tile window. You really want to use the vampire talisman at some point. How much skill does it cost? It's I kinda despise that it doesn't show me those things. Um, I want to see those things even if the item is completely useless to this character because it's not useless to me, the player. And oh man, it's not a good idea that it doesn't show you the important details, even if you cannot use the item. Anyway, back to depths. Now that I have cleared the bolts, I am quite severely drained. Where else could I go to fix that? You know, it feels nice to have 3 pips of the resistance. Going for any banners? I'm going for whatever banners I can get by finishing one character. And if I have the energy to somehow play another character after that, then whatever banners I can get by finishing 2 characters. At the very least, I should get the one where, like the one you get for winning a Nem's choice, assuming that I manage to win this. Which, yeah, at any possible moment where I'm fighting anything that can paralyze, I can be paralyzed and be killed from full HP with this character. And so, if that happens, 2 hours and 34 minutes of my life will go straight down the drain. I guess it would make for some funny YouTube content, I suppose. Um, the likes of which I didn't like to upload back in the day because I only really like to upload wins. When I started uploading not wins, that was the beginning of the end, and now I just do whatever. Um, Man, the epoch button is so tantalizing. It's so difficult not to press it. I wish it didn't cause such a huge chunk of my life, but that's just late game epoch. Early game epoch is bonkers, but late game epoch is not so much. Okay, this guy has something nasty. Slow. It's not so nasty. Oh, ouch. 71 drain. Oh, I got comboed. Okay. It was not 71 for real. Drought power. Okay. I really wish I had the way to produce an explosion right now. Like, power leap. But cannot power leap because all of Ru's abilities share one cooldown. Ah, man. I wish it wasn't the case. Okay, now I have to deal with this guy with half my HP gone. Definitely not good. You do have repel missiles. Your magic is disrupted. No idea why. Oh, because of Ru. Yeah. Okay, if your magic is disrupted, I can tab you, and that works. I'm here running around with Spriggan or Cat level HP just because of the insane amounts of root drain that I have. I really should stop using it every fight. Okay, just 2 globes of dexterity, exactly the same as the ones that I already have, which is wild. That could have been a hat of willpower, you know? If we were talking about branded auxiliary gear, that could have been a hat of willpower. Ruin Red Drain. Yeah. It doesn't help a lot that I also fought bodies before this, and I've been carrying some of that drain since then. Oh man, I really want to press the button again. Oh man, the temptation of pressing the button is just too large. Um, but I shouldn't. Yeah, I shouldn't just press the button against a random mob of trolls, right? Like it's a straight up not a good way to play the game. Yeah, instead of that, I can just throw jabs. Which we have min delay for the jabs, and we also have force slaying, which could be 8. Yeah, why is it not 8 slaying? I mean, I would love to have a ring of willpower instead of what I have right now in that ring slot. But as long as I don't have the ring of willpower, I might as well go for the slaying. Yeah, give me that. Finally, I think it's the first time in all of my time playing Crawl that I use another enchanted ring of slaying. Because I don't generally use them because I feel like the ring slots are better used for defensive purposes than offensive purposes. But, well, you have seen how this game has unfolded. Ouch. Oh, well, not really ouch, actually, because I have 3 pips of fire resistance. These guys tickle a little bit, I suppose. I have no idea how I sacked resistances with Rue, and I still have 3 pips of fire and cold resistance. That's so weird to me. But you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm not gonna complain about that. We're just gonna accept it. And I am going to wish that I had willpower. Yeah, definitely. Um, so we're running around with 8 Slay. Talking about that. On Whip? Nope, definitely not. Yep. If I had a Demon Whip, it would be a nice thing to have right now because of this large amount of slaying. Yes, I know, it's pretty weird that I have 3 pips of fire and cold resistance, but it is because of the Darflail that I am using. If I switch to the Great Mace, it's much more normal resistances, it's still pretty good considering the armor class. Um, yeah, I saw the Darflail and I was like, wow, this is a godsend. Oh, talking about godsends. Okay, we can use gold scales. Gold scales are probably better than plate. We can drop these. Oh, we finally got 6 Scrolls of Enchant Armor. Park hitting. Oh yes, yes. I could really use a little bit of park hit right now. That highly enchanted gold scales could be a run maker. Talking about that, one should probably go see the Trove in this situation because I finally got my 6 Scrolls of Enchant Armor. Let me drop these. Oh, I already don't have ones. I pressed the one drop button, but I don't have those. Okay, drop the potions. Breathe this on the fire scales. Okay, I just dumped enchant scrolls into my body armor that I'm about to use for this. So this would be the ideal situation for Parhit to be summoned. Let's see what we get. Oh, what do we have here? Oh no! Or maybe I mean I have a scarf. No. I think we have to throw away the Scarf of Resistance for the Cloak of Willpower. It's too important. Oh boy! Oh boy! Okay, how does this look? Oh man, I feel like it's too much. But we have 53 armor class. No, we have to use the Crystal Plate, at least for a little bit. It's Crystal Plate after all, and it's highly enchanted. Oh, Brand Weapon. Great Mace of Venom. And Enchant Armor. Let's use that on the Cloak of Willpower right now. Okay, and we finally got a Ring of Willpower. I cannot believe it. The key was all this time just going to the treasure trove. I knew the win condition from the very beginning. I'm glad that I stuck to it. Yeah, that can stay on the floor. This trove is not a dot. Stacked trove, yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Cannot complain. Alright, so now that I have 54 armor class, I should be Okay, I don't know. Like, you may think I'm crazy, but I think I prefer this. 46. That's pretty good. 40 armor class, and these resistances over the crystal plate resistances. Um, the crystal plate resistances or the resistance to electricity allows me to toss away the amulet, right? But if I toss away the amulet, I don't have fire resistance, which is bad, and I shouldn't do that. Anyway, at some point I'll just find Park Hit and use Park Hit gold scales. I would take Park Hit gold scales over this crystal plate, though this crystal plate is incredible. It's definitely a build around. If I had found 6 scrolls of enchant armor sooner, I would have built around this. Um, but anyway, back to the depths. I still don't have a third rune, unfortunately. I need to get a third rune from somewhere. Oh yeah, like the immediate increase in like resiliency is so tangible. Earlier, if I had been fighting a band of trolls while being surrounded by them, it would have been quite painful. Now it's nothing. Okay. What is up with all these Randart um low quality items? Yeah, what is up with that? Demon tridents, demon blades, but no demon whips. Um, Not that it matters a lot. I only have 3 scrolls of enchant weapon. Um, Nothing. All right, depths 4. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, boy. Okay. How bad is that? It's not bad. Not bad at all. I was immediately in like danger mode because I landed in the bolt, but I didn't like there were no enemies. Um, that vampire has paralysis. Oh, but I have willpower. Finally, I have willpower. Throw trap into mark trap. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing that kills you earlier in the game. At this point, it's not that bad. Um, yeah, we have what it takes to deal with it. But earlier on, it would have been very annoying. Okay, we press the button. Mm, Gotta get rid of the Earth Mage. The Earth Mage is just gonna ruin things again. Yeah, should I read Tele here? I'm thinking that I should. Yeah, this is getting a little bit too out of control. Ah, Daybomb. Please don't smite me. It smote me, but only once, so I guess it's fine. So, I mentioned it a couple of times, but you may not have been here to listen. I may try to play a NetHack game during the NetHack tournament next month. I have not finished a NetHack game in over a decade. Like I have started them, but I get bored and I don't finish them. But I want to finish in a win a NetHack game during the NetHack tournament in the NetHack tournament next month. It might be rough for you, Tiles enjoyers, because there's no way for me to capture Tiles and play console at the same time. Where's my jabs? Yeah, okay. Can just pick them up later. No, that's what I needed you not to do. But I have power leap, so I guess it's fine. Uh, Careful with that Sphinx. Enlightenment. Okay, with 2 sources of willpower, this should not do anything to me. Yeah, 1%. It still might happen, and if it happens, I think I have the full right to be annoyed at this game and not play for half a year. Um, Do sphinxes wear stuff now? Was that sphinx wearing a cloak? They wear cloaks. And that's so weird. So let me see about that summon spell. Um, Sphinx Sisters. Oh, it's level 7. I thought it was going to be a level 6 spell. Um, Still pretty good. You can sustain at most 2 creatures summoned by this spell. Makes sense. You haven't tried that spell yet, but you want to. Understandable. Definitely seems like a cool summon. It takes quite a bit for me to say that something is a cool summon, right? But that one looks good. It looks like it's a straight up worth it because the summons are high quality monsters. The thing is getting to the point where you can actually cast it because you have to cast a lot of spells that are not that cool in the way there. I guess there's stuff like cactus giants and so nowadays. Okay, you're being super annoying. Man, these death drakes, I do not know why there's a million of them here. They are super rare monsters. Maybe they spawn in this specific bolt now or something. Okay, bring me back. Bring me back my jabs. I hoarded them carefully throughout the whole run. I still need to get a 3rd rune. Have they not gotten rid of the 3-rune lock for Sot? I want to enter Sot with only 2 runes. I feel like often the process of getting the 3rd rune is more dangerous than Sot itself. I feel like if I'm in Depths 4 and I'm destroying Depths 4, just let me go in Sot. Please, just let me go in. We have 4. Yeah, we have 4 enchant weapons now. So we could make a +4 unbranded demon whip, which definitely is not fantastic. So I'm not really gonna bother. I feel like what I have is just better because at least it's branded. It also has 0.6 attack delay, so it actually swings decently fast. You think it should be locked behind 15 runes? Oh boy. So yeah, still 3, right? If you have enough runes, it doesn't say that it's 3, and let's see. Ah, you need at least 3 runes to enter the realm of Sot. What am I supposed to do about that? Everyone knows the dungeon only has 2 runes. That sucks. And I don't want to do the Abyss because I have no stealth. And I don't want to do Bolts because it's Bolts 5. Wait a second, I can go into Bolts and just press the funny button. Like I can just go into Bolts 5 and press the funny button is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, sure, let's see what happens. Ooh, it's Crystal. What is this? Diamond Strap. Pretty evil. Okay. I killed a lot of enemies doing that. Recuperated a large amount of my experience. So yeah, so this was fine. We got a little bit of stuff from that. It's effectively free. Um, where do I get my 3rd rune from? We have a cloak of preservation. I also have a morning star of resistance to corrosion. How much am I going to regret equipping that morning star of resistance to corrosion and doing slime with it? You think that harm robe is an upgrade? Oh, because harm. But no, like the game says if you switch to wearing this armor, your armor class would decrease by 23. Somehow I would still have 31 armor class, which is substantial. Um, but I would probably explode. I would probably explode. Maybe if it was on heavier armor. I have learned to appreciate harm, but with spellcasters, I don't think I would do it with a melee character. And I don't really think I'm a javelin throwing character with without Tokawaru, without the constant stream of javelins being offered to me. Like I would run out really fast. I still need to like and doing slime without the willpower from the cloak is sounds terrible. Um, no enchant armor, but yeah, I feel like slime is the way to go. We just press the APOC button on the royal jelly after like immolation, just immolation strats, classic immolation strats, and we get the job done like that. Um, yeah, immolation APOC. Um, how nasty is it going to be that I don't have resistance to corrosion? I feel like it's gonna be bad. And when did I get that ring of willpower? You took it off a fire giant on level 3 of the depths. Well, finally got one, but it's a bit too late. It only appeared after I went into the treasure trove. Did you notice? And besides, I have that ring of will. Oh, the ring of willpower that I have here also gives resistance to corrosion, so I don't think we're using this. Spent so long suffering for that, and now I don't want to use it. I guess we just replace the ring of 4 armor class. Yep. Oh boy. Now, I have 21 strength. That's not good. Mm, yeah, I want to have 4 evasion. Okay, 6 evasion is not much better. I'll need strength when you have +8 slay, but like I was thinking about strength because of the evasion penalty for having very little strength for the armor that I'm wearing. But oh man, I feel like I'm going to regret it. This has a high possibility of being immensely painful, but let's see how it goes. Yeah, that went fine. Could have been a lot worse. It's a lot of slime. They're very, very large slime creatures. I don't have a good way to deal with them. Yeah, we have one Titanic. One Titanic, one very large, one enormous. Mm-hmm. I cannot deal with all of that in melee range. Like it would straight up kill me. How exactly would I deal with this? Do I run towards the not Titanic slime creature and try to kill them? The enormous one is, yeah, on the other side. Okay, haste might, I think. You would pick a different staircase. That could also be a good idea, but I'm too committed. If I can get the Titanic one to split, it would be great. Yeah, there we go. Now they're not dangerous anymore. Beautiful. Picking a different stair was probably the correct thing to do. The Titanic slime either splits or one-shots you. There's no in between. Where exactly is the downstairs? Oh boy, there's a lot of slime creatures here. I guess fortunately for me, because the slime creatures are about the least threatening thing here, unless they bunch up. When they do, that's when they're dangerous. Did you sack hand? No, but dire flails are two-handed. Yeah. I would love to be able to switch to the Great Maze, but if I switch to the Great Maze, my resistances go straight down the drain. Straight down the drain. They cease to be. Period. Which is definitely another incentive to be wearing to be wearing gold scales. But I would like to have, big armor class. So the ideal thing here is to find Park Hit. Get Park Hit to give me +9 gold scales, and then I'll have a good time. Okay, so I have to clear all of these because the next level is the level with the Royal Jelly, and I might have to retreat with 3 HP to heal. And I don't want to retreat with 3 HP to heal into this. -2 strength, delightful. You know what? I think we drink potions. A mutation. Not bad, not bad. Effectively nothing. To dexterity is fine, I suppose. You've never actually taken that sack before. Can you still use two-handers with one hand? You cannot. You lose a shield and you lose two-handers. I actually do not know how it works with formicids. I think formicids lose their shield, but they can still use two-handers. I think they lose their two hands that would be wielding the shield, but get to keep the two hands that would wield the weapon. Yeah, I got no stealth, no evocables, no allies, no air hexes or necromancy, no resistances except that didn't play out the way that the game wanted it to play out, and no transformations. The first three that I took were these, and these. Those were the first three, I think. And then these were like later for to go from 5 to 6 pips of piety. Look at that. A starry gem. And a manual of throwing, a bit too late. And a ruined helmet, that could be interesting. Except that it's not gonna be willpower, but it might still be fine. You feel frail, that is annoying. Though I can remove it later. All right. The royal jelly comes into view. I would like to be at full HP, but I highly doubt that is possible. Pretty good. Pretty good. Killed everything except for these rock slimes. I do not have heal wounds. Perhaps not the wisest thing to do to read two Scrolls of Torment with no heal wounds available and no way to easily heal. I would love to draw out power, but it's gonna take a while. I do not know if I beat these with what I have. I beat them if I throw jabs. I'm almost certain, because I think they are hated by Zin. Yeah, vulnerable to silver. That's 1 out of 3 down. That's 3. Sweet. Now let me go grab my reward. I used might and I didn't melee anything there. But if I had needed to melee those rock slimes, I would have definitely had a bad time without might. So I do not regret it. You're a little bit surprised that there are people with 10 plus streaks on the current version. I'm not. I just have learned to understand that I never had the patience to do that kind of thing. I technically have a 10 streak in my main account, but those were the last 10 games that I played in my account. Well, I shouldn't say main account, it's more like my original account. Let me pick this up before it disappears. It's gone. Okay, it's gone. That's whack. Limit of Sea Invisible. Nice upgrade. An Ichor Stained Great Mace and 3 Scrolls of Enchant Weapon. The Demon Whip is becoming more viable, and also that Great Mace could be interesting. That is unusable. Plate of Cold Resistance. What I want is Fire Resistance. Nope. Those 5 Great Mace, kinda lame. Ring of Evasion, we don't need that. Vamp Battle Axe would have been super cool earlier in the game. Would have definitely gone for it. Ring of Willpower, of course. They only appear when you don't need them anymore. No brand weapon. We are at the point where enchanting the Demon Whip is actually viable. Um, Throughout the entirety of the game, I only found one, and that is only because I saw a monster that is guaranteed to have a Demon Whip. Do you have a good shields? Probably. We have Kite Shield of Protection, Tower Shield of Positive Energy. Yeah, we do have some okay shields. You're thinking using the Demon Whip, the unbranded Demon Whip with the +8 slaying? The thing is that if I unwield my weapon, bad things happen. Like straight up bad things happen. So I probably shouldn't. Let's go to Sot. Come on, everybody cross your fingers so I see park hit. How much? Okay, I have 2 magic mappings. What do you think are the most broken things in Rift Wizard 2 right now? Sonic shielding, Serpents of Chaos, fire in general. Fire has always been good, and lightning as well. They're less broken than in one. In one, it's just like it kind of plays itself with very little thinking involved. In two, you have to think more, but they're still incredibly powerful. The other ones are a lot harder to play, like the other schools. Mm, I wonder if I can beat this Berserk Storm Dragon. I can, no problem. I don't think the toads are particularly broken. Like it's just normal for Rift Wizard skills to be at that power level. That's a lot of tentacles. Tentacled monstrosities. Yeah, pretty bad. They are vulnerable to silver. Are they? Hmm. Despite its appearance, it can open doors. They're not vulnerable to silver for some reason. I thought they were. Um, Spiny trinket reminiscent of a cactus causes sharp quills to grow all over the user's body, which may cause injury to anyone unwise enough to attack them in melee. Oh, so there's bubbles, but there's only one bubble, the Flux bubble. Do they have any plans for adding more? I feel like potions of 3 could be bubbles instead. Oh wow, I have 4 scrolls of blinking, that's wild. We are going to be putting those to use later. I don't have poison resistance. I do not have Apoc, and I do not have poison resistance. I should probably drink more potions of mutation. Mm. Yeah, I should probably switch to the gold scales now because of that poison resistance. Also, the resistance to fire and cold is gonna come up. Um, I have 5 potions of resistance. Minus scrolls, is that bad? I don't know if I think that's very bad. No, it is very bad. It is very bad to have minus a scroll. Do these guys have like less? Oh, they do have less base armor class, but it's not a problem. Sweet. You redirect the Red Draconian Scorcher's attack. Ru is such a cool thing to have. So yeah, should I read for minus a scroll? But I like the +4 strength. Like that's actually super cool. It helps me a lot to mitigate the evasion penalties for having low amounts of strength for the armor that I'm using. Uh, I kind of want those gloves of +2 strength. I'll get those gloves. Yeah, we can lose the gloves of dexterity and get a little bit of extra strength. Okay, yeah, I think I have almost no weakness now, except for um liches. Yeah, if we see an ancient lich, their crystal spears are my only weakness. Everything else, orbs of fire, we should not really have that much of a problem dealing with. Yeah, put on the gold scales for um mm, put on the gold scales for the resistance to poison. Very important. Not afraid of malmutate? Nah. I mean, at this point in the game, and this is true for pretty much every crawl run. Once you get to the monsters with malmutate is not really that much of an issue. And that is only if you are doing extended and you see Menolex level, those are the only malmutate monsters that are a little bit of a problem because you may see them and there is going to be a lot of game afterwards. But now, like, I have a 5 potions mutation and I have not a lot of game left, so it's not a problem. Berserkitis and Teleportitis always dangerous. They're only dangerous if you're playing the game. But I'm about to not be playing the game anymore, so there's that. Besides, once again, I have 5 potions. It would be weird if I couldn't get rid of the mutations. Minus a scroll is pretty bad, and I should probably get rid of it because I can already see it. I'm in the vault, or I get teleported into the vault because scroll sucks. I get hit. I get instantly slapped with the minus a scroll, and I cannot teleport my way out. Or rather, I do pop a teleport, and then while I'm waiting for the teleport to happen, because it takes about half an hour and such, I get slapped with the minus a scroll and then I do not get to teleport again after my first teleport fails, as is often the case in this place. So that is definitely a pretty compelling reason to get rid of that. Yeah, I'm gonna miss my strength. Another enchant weapon. Lost 9 demon whip. Still no brand weapons, however. All right. So far, so good. And I made a little adjustment. I got rid of the willpower resistance to corrosion ring in favor of 6 strength, 6 strength ring. If I had a little bit more money, which I do now, let's go buy that +9 strength ring. It was always meant to be that I was going to be using these one-of-a-kind rings. Oh, I'm missing 8 gold. Okay, let's find 8 gold. Oh, give me gold item. Okay, there it is in Swamp 2. Oh, it's that bolt. That bolt that no one should ever do. Um, I don't want to do that. Okay, if I go back to Sot, or maybe I can go to Crypt, or no. Let's go to Crypt. Let's go to Crypt and get 8 gold from there. It's my fault for not checking before making the trip. Power Leap is such a good thing to have. It's so versatile. Are some good ways to apply melting armor? What are some good ways to apply melting armor? Searing heat. Searing heat does damage to everything you can see when you um, cast a fire spell. It does fire damage, and because it does fire damage, it applies melting armor. So pretty much every time you cast a fire spell, you apply melting armor. This is best used in a build that can cast a lot of fireballs in one action. For example, Chain Fireball or Rain of Fire. Those cast crazy amounts of fireballs. And by extension, they apply crazy amounts of melting armor through crazy amounts of searing heat. It's probably the best way to apply melting armor. Is there an alternative that doesn't friendly fire? Hmm. Hmm. I do not know, actually. I've never bothered checking. But you can just get allies that are immune to fire if you're gonna go for that. Do I still have... Okay, yeah, I still need the 8 gold. It's crazy the amount of things that I've had to fight for 8 gold. This guy has a 39% chance to paralyze me, so let's not die to it and just use a potion of willpower. Oh, finally, a stack of gold. Uniques love to hang out at the crypt's entrance. Yeah, it's crazy. Fought through a lot of stuff for that 8 gold, but now that I have it, I can go buy my Ring of Strength and proceed with my clearing of Sot. There we go, 35 strength. Finally, 35 strength. Was always meant to be. Damage rating is 57, surprisingly, and with the Great Mace, it is 71. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, we are hitting pretty hard. To the point where the Direflail, which is normally kind of a lackluster weapon for killing Sot enemies, it's performing well. I do wish I was using the Great Mace instead, but I got Venom Brand, and Venom Brand is effectively unbranded at this point. I wonder how the Demon Whip looks actually. Demon Whip has 52 damage rating, but it attacks a little bit faster than the Dark Flail. If the Demon Whip was branded, it would be um, it would probably do very well against the Dark Flail. Who is Mikey? Mikey is a legendary old timer who really likes slaying and really didn't like tower shields. Back in the day, they were called large shields. Is his full username Mikey USA? No, it's Mikey underscore. That was the name in IRC. This is back in the IRC days, of course. I haven't found Park Hit. I am doing a full clear for Park Hit, and Park Hit has yet to appear. Maybe not the same person, maybe it's better that way. Who knows? Last I heard, Mikey switched from Crawl to Slay the Spire. Um, and then disappeared forever. Certainly not part of the Crawl community anymore. And certainly hasn't been the case for quite a while. Very useful teleporter, transporter bolt. Quite the good spot to pick a fight on. Power leap out here. Oh, I didn't need to power leap out here. Not bad. Yeah, it turns out that Blink Allies and Circling in SOT is so much more palatable than it is in other parts of the game, like in Snake. In Snake, it is so much of a death sentence when you get hit by the Blink Allies and Circling. In this part of the game, it's like, I mean, it is annoying, potentially dangerous, but it's not the level of death that you're presented with in Snake. Snake mid crawl mid game, you know. I mean, I've said it a million times. Pretty much every time I play crawl, the crawl mid game experience is messed up. Also, I don't think I would have won if I had tried to do Bolts 5, right? Like, I don't think this is the kind of character that can do Bolts 5, but this is the kind of character that can do SOT. um, which, yeah, I mean, every kind of character. Why do you keep coming back to crawl? Because of the tournament. Because of the tournament. And sometimes it is fun. Sometimes it is fun, but most of the time it's not that fun anymore for me. In general, I might just move beyond roguelikes at this point. As I said at the start of the stream, I've been playing Metroidvanias and I've been having a good time with them. I played After Image on stream. That was fine. It was only okay, but it was fun Metroidvania, and it did have some difficult bosses that I enjoyed. And I've also been playing Nine Souls off stream. Nine Souls is pretty cool game mechanics for Metroidvania. But my main problem with Nine Souls is, yeah, I'm silence and minus potion. Yeah, no scrolls. I cannot do anything. If I was threatened by more enemies, I would be in a really bad spot now. Um, Nine Souls is such a cool game in terms of its mechanics, but I do not like anything that is not the mechanics. Um, well, I guess I like how the main character looks, but I do not like how gory it is. Um, it's too dark. I like the clash of ideologies between the main character and the bosses. That's cool, but I just wish the story had been told in a less grotesque way. The game does feature a crazy amount of dismemberment for a Metroidvania, which yeah, I'm definitely not fond of. I wish I was hasted, by the way. That killer clown did a number on me. What is Clear Obscure Expedition 33? I've heard so much of that. Oh, also the screamer in the game kinda messed me up. I had my lights off. It was 11 p.m. and I got hit by a screamer. It was so annoying. Like it didn't make me scream, but it was like I just prefer not to engage with that kind of thing, you know. Um, Clear Obscure Expedition 33. I've heard a lot of that game. Turn-based RPG with real-time combat. How exactly does that work? Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not interested. I saw the disclaimer in Steam, and yeah, that checks all the marks for something that I would not play. Not that I was gonna buy it anyway. Lately, I'm just not buying games anymore. Possibly the best game of the year. Small studio JRPG from France. From France. JRPG from France, so it's a French RPG. Combat is turn-based, but there's active time crit and dodge parry mechanics. I see. Yeah, apart from crawl and roguelikes in general, turn-based games have never been my thing. Hello, Loops. Thank you for stopping by. This time, as you can see, I actually have a run. Perhaps because I stopped trying to play Oni Earth Mage. Don't hit the sod trap. Okay. I can drink potions now, so I'm going to do that. The dodge parry timing is as difficult as Dark Souls. Nah, it's not. Dark Souls Dark Souls is wildly overrated as a difficult game. I genuinely think Crawl is a harder game, and I genuinely think that Crawl is not as hard of a game as people would be led to believe. Neither Dark Souls nor Crawl are that hard games. They're just games that require you to dedicate time to them, and because of that, that already is like a barrier for people because sometimes people just don't have the time or the energy or the interest in dedicating time to something that's not gonna make them money, you know. Um, but I don't think they're that difficult. Kaizo Mario, on the other hand, now if I had to say what's difficult, Kaizo Mario is difficult. Um, okay, they're turning into yeah. You were playing Wizardry. It's a good game to pass some time. Never heard of Wizardry. I've been playing Nine Souls, as I already said. I have like 8 to 9 hours in the game. Dreadlich. Okay, 19% chance to paralyze. Let's get rid of that. That's a normal fire. This is definitely looking like a situation where Apoc is juicy. Okay, of course I Apoc and I immediately see a second normal fire. Classic. I already threw all my jabs. If I had more jabs, I would throw them now. Maybe not where you want to be, Mark. Yeah, I know. We can blink away from this one. I think that it is worth it. It's a lot of orbs of fire. I really wish I had my jabs in my inventory because with my jabs I would destroy these orbs of fire. But sweet stealth. That doesn't do anything because I have 0 stealth. Okay, transporter vault, and we can probably get out here. Oh, we cannot get out here because there's a lot of orbs of fire. I'm still hasted. I can probably make it to the stairs. Maybe have to bring Um, how did the other orbs loop around behind you? So I was fighting some orbs here, but it turns out that there were orbs here as well. That's what happened. You can probably make it to the stairs. Yeah, bringing one up with me is fine. I can kill it because I have 3 pips of the resistance. You know, I should probably use a little bit of might. Nah. They got dispersal trap. The monsters do not care about traps when you're not looking at the traps. They can walk over the dispersal traps, I'm pretty sure. There we go. Easy peasy. Play with magic caster and crawl is hard to survive. Yeah, I agree. A lot more annoying. Minus potion, whatever. Minus scroll is the bad one. Ah, I got tormented. And that is inconvenient. Ah, I got antennae, so that's why I lost my C invisible. That is very annoying. But I still have 5 potions of mutation. I just cannot get rid of the antennae right now. Not to mention that it would be pointless anyway. Um, because wearing a helmet takes 5 turns. Maybe I should have hasted earlier. Okay, now we can drink mutation. No, I got horns. Ah, body part mutation should not be in the game. Like straight up, they suck, and they are never a good mutation. They are marked as a good mutation. They shouldn't be a good mutation at all. Like they should just be a bad mutation. Period. Because losing your armor slot is so much worse than whatever benefit you gain from the auxiliary slot. Um, do you think if Kroll receives some art rework, it could bring more new players? Let me show you how Kroll looks for me. Do I even have console in my? I don't have a console scene. Okay, since I switched computers last year, I haven't really played a lot of Kroll. In the meantime, yeah, this is how Kroll looks for me. You're gonna see it for a bit. So I don't really care about the art. When I started playing, when I got into Kroll, I was 14, and this is how Kroll looked for me when I was 14. So if people want to get into Kroll, they will get into Kroll no matter how it looks. Do you think the learning curve is too difficult? Yes, that is true. Crawl is a game that is highly punishing, and you do need to learn how to play the game in order to properly start winning and stuff. Regardless, it's a game that not only cannot be a mainstream game, but also the developers do not have the intention or interest or desire to make it a mainstream game, so it's not going to ever be a mainstream game. The streams help you learn quickly. Did you learn from my streams or from any streams? But yeah, anyway, it is a lot easier to learn this game when you are riding on the shoulders of giants. Do you play any other roguelikes? I do, Mika. I do. I play Rift Wizard. I will maybe play the NetHack tournament in June because I haven't played one in 10 years. Uh, maybe, maybe. The devs want players to suffer. The devs want players to suffer. Yeah. The best way to avoid suffering is to not play this game. Period. Okay. All right. We are free. We are free. Let's pick this thing up and get out of here. Just teleport. Oh no. What is this garbage? Oh, that's pretty bad. Okay. Fortunately, I still have two blinks. Oh, it's in middle. Okay, I think that we just drink a haste and make a run for it. Kochmind is cool too. Ooh, you should have seen my experience with Kochmind a couple of years ago. I like that game is not for me. Like that game is for someone. It's not for me. It took me a while to learn that lesson that not all games need to be for me, and just because a game isn't for me, does that make it a bad game? That game is very much not for me, and because it's not for me, I'm gonna abstain from criticizing it. Except for the fact that it's crazy that it doesn't have a dedicated inventory button. I cannot believe that in that button you cannot press a key to see the entirety of your inventory. It's such jank. So yeah, that may seem like a little thing, but my experience with Kochman was just plagued with that kind of little thing, and at the end of the day, it was just like I don't care about this game. I don't want to win it. I don't have any curiosity towards this game, so I just stopped playing it. I do have to say that the Kochmind community is crazy generous and passionate towards their game. Um, yeah, I got to 50 subscriptions off the back of the Kochmind community. Thanks to the Kochmind community, oh no, I got to 100 subscriptions off the back of the Kochmind community. I was like, okay, if I ever get to 100 subscriptions at the same time, 100 subscribers, I'll do a karaoke stream. And it happened because of the Kochmind community. Um, and never have I gotten close to that goal again. uh, have I played Caves of Koth? No. Caves of Koth is also one of those games that it's just not for me. I value in games. I value the most that it is an interesting and engaging experience. What do I mean by this? Imagine Sekiro. Sekiro is like the pinnacle of what I'm talking about. Crawl is also like that when Crawl decides to cooperate, because sometimes Crawl is just ridiculously unfair. Um, what other game? Like, think you could say Kaizo, but I never got into Kaizo. Um, like I've always enjoyed watching it, but I never got into actually playing it. Maybe I'm starting to get now, like maybe now that I'm close to 30, I'm starting to get into um, my Kaizo arc, where it may be interesting for me to actually learn how to play Kaizo, but I don't know if I could handle the frustration. I feel like it's a lot more interesting for me to fight hard boss fights. Like for example, um, Grand Poo World 2 Bowser. I've always wanted to fight that, but I've never wanted to go through the process of getting to fight Grand Poo World to Bowser the proper way. Go through the entire game. I don't care about going through the entire game, but I do care about the fight. Tome, ooh, Tome is like you're just listing games that I do not vibe with. But Tome is like that one. I had some serious problems. I played Tome once, like 6 years ago. I genuinely cannot remember being that mad at anything since I played Tome. Like that was the most mad I've ever been at anything in the last 6 years. Um, yeah, that game, I'm never playing that. In general, I think that I'm just on my way out from roguelikes. I mean, Crawl is fine sometimes. Whenever I build up the desire to play it, like maybe once every 6 or 7 months, that's fine. Rift Wizard is also fine, though I'm also on my way out from Rift Wizard in the sense that, like, I think I played a lot and now I'm just not feeling it. I'm feeling Metroidvanias and stuff like that. I've been playing a little bit of Hollow Knight as well. I finished it, but for some reason the save that I had didn't have my clear. I did beat the Radiance before when I first played the game, but it for some reason didn't save that I beat the Radiance, so I just have to do it again to unlock it for Godmaster, which was something that I didn't do before. Um, so I've been doing that, and it has been fun. You found yourself less interested in dexterity games over time. No, for me it's dexterity games. I'm in my dexterity games arc. Have you played Symphony of the Night? Yes, of course. Symphony of the Night is like um, the originator of my affinity for Metroidvanias because I like roguelikes a lot and I like Metroidvanias a lot. Also played Super Metroid and Metroid Fusion and Area of Sorrow and from Metroid and Castlevania, those are the ones that I've liked. Metroidvania, you like to play Dead Souls. I've always thought that Dead Souls is like it straight up cannot be a Metroidvania, because there's no backtracking, and backtracking is like a core element. Yeah, I also for Bloodstained I got the day off work and I played it all. I didn't play it on stream, I think. No, I didn't play it on stream. Back then it was before I streamed actually, but I did get the day of work and I played it non-stop the day it released. I played like 12 hours. It was so good. Um yeah, what other Metroidvanias have I played? Um Oh, yeah, of course, Ravi Rivi and Tevi, which I think Ravi Rivi is my favorite game ever. It's so good. Like, if you like bullet hell and hard bosses, that game is the game. Um, I enjoy that game so much. It makes me happy. I haven't played it since I first beat it in like 2016, but I look forward to playing it again, maybe one of these days. I don't think I'll play it on stream because it's the kind of thing that gets no viewers. But I'll play it off stream. Maybe I'll do a video about it. Yeah, I've been thinking about what I can do with my desire to play Metroidvanias because very clearly it's not really suitable for streams. But I could play the games and just like make a video essay review about the games. Um, Blasphemous, you play only 2 hours, so you can't say much. I have Blasphemous and I have not played it. Um, yeah, I do not like gore and gory stuff, and that game is so full of that. Anyway, let's win the game. Yeah, I have escaped. Escape with the orb and 3 runes. Not bad, not bad. Could have been a lot worse. I have no idea how that worked. Was it like a first attempt? I think I did beat that in my first attempt. Um, so yeah, no more today. Maybe tomorrow I'll play more Crawl. I'll try to build up desire to play Crawl. This was fine, but It was not as painful as trying to play Oni Earth Mage. For some reason, that didn't go well at all. Um, so yeah, we shall see what I do next time I stream, and we shall see when that is. For now, it's time for me to end stream. Thank you for your continued support, everyone. Thank you for the chat interaction, which is, yeah, the difference between me playing Crawl and me playing anything else is just massive. But I understand it. I understand it. You have to know your own limitations, so I understand them. I am going to press the end stream button now. Go watch someone else playing Crawl, I suppose. Um, Thank you for everything. See you around.